All right, we're going to talk about tables. Tables on web pages. What are tables on web pages used for? Tables on a web page are used to hold tabular data. We use a table to hold things that fits nice and neatly in rows and columns. So in the old days, when tables, before CSS came along really, we used to use tables to lay out our entire web page. You could create your whole table, you make a main area, a left column, a right column, a header row. You could make it out of a table. It was really the only way to get your elements to be organized on your web page. After that came something called frames, and a frame was kind of the same thing. Let's do a multi-column layout of some kind. But each section of your frame, like you had a header frame, a left frame, and a right frame, and each of those frames would have their own HTML file that populated those frames. So then we started using frames for these layouts. But as CSS got better and we learned how to do floats and things like that, both of those things went away. Okay, so we don't use layout tables for our web pages anymore. If you see a page that's done that way, that's a page that hasn't been updated for a very, very long time. So we don't use tables to do layouts. We don't use frames anymore to do our page layouts. We have modern CSS for that now. The only thing we really use tables for is tabular data. Okay, holding things that need to be in rows and columns. So I'm going to do an example today and show you how to do a table, and I'm going to show you that doing my schedule. What's my daily schedule like at school? You know, I have lab in the morning, lab in the afternoon, and I have a lunchtime. And we actually have a homeroom period. I don't know if I'll include that or not, but I'm going to show you how to lay that out because it fits nice and neatly as tabular data. So how do we do a table? Well, we have a tag called the table tag. Okay. And everything that's going in our table is going to go between the beginning and the ending table tag. Great. Pretty easy, huh? All right. So inside of a table, we have rows and columns. So for table rows, we use a tag, tr, and an ending tag, /tr. What's tr stand for? Table row. Now, it'd be really nice if we had table column, but we don't. Okay. Inside each row, each cell inside the row is called a piece of data. So we have table data. So we have a table data tag and a / table data tag. Okay. And I'm going to put a couple of those inside this row. So I have built a table here, and inside my table I have one row, and inside that row I have 3 pieces of data. Let's save this and go look at it, and you can't see anything. So I need to add some CSS that will let us see the borders on our table. I'm not ready to talk about that yet, so I'm going to pause the video and do that. And I'll come back to it because I want to show CSS in a separate video. Okay, I've refreshed my page. I've turned on the borders so that you can see I have 3 tiny little cells there surrounded by a big border on the outside. So basically I just turned on borders, and I'll get to how to do that later. Let's actually put some data in here. So inside my data row, I'm going to put across the top row, I need to put, well, first let me just do some generic data. I'm going to write data in here. Data. And we'll go over here and refresh it. And there you can see my cells either. So I have 1 row and 3 pieces of data inside it. Okay. Now if I want to do another row, I can do another table row and a slash table row. And let me put 3 pieces of data inside that too. I'm just going to copy this data and put it down here. Okay. Now I have a second piece of second row with 3 pieces of data in that row. I'll save it, come over here and refresh, and we can see that. So I have 2 rows with 3 pieces of data in each row, and they all line up nice and neatly. So what if something's longer than another one? Notice the whole column goes to the same width as the longest element. Right now, the size of our cells and the size of our table is being determined by the data that's in the table. Okay. Later on, we'll learn how to set that manually using CSS. Okay. So what I wanted to do was make a copy of my daily schedule. So let's do, we'll do Monday through Friday. Let's do across in our first row. I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I need a couple more rows. I copy Tuesday and Wednesday, change it to Thursday, Friday. Because I'm making my schedule for the week. I'll save that. Let's take a look at it. There we go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I got 5 rows. We have 9 classes every day. So down the left side, I am going to need 5 columns in every row. So I'm going to take that row and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. I guess I picked a big one, didn't I? Actually, let me take the data out. I'll copy a blank row. I have all these rows. Okay. Here's a row with 5 entries in it. Here's a row with 5 entries in it. Here's a row with 5 entries. 3, 4, 5. I think right now I'll stop. I'll stop with that. Let's put some data in them. Get my slashes on those. Let me refresh this and look at it. There's my schedule for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Got first period, second period, third period, fourth period. So what do I have first period on Monday? I have junior lab. There it is. I also have that actually every day. I have junior lab all morning, don't I? So that should be the first row for every Monday. So I'm just working on Monday right now. Junior labs. Okay. I have room to add things for different days of the week. Maybe we should talk about Mondays junior lab database. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and do another row. Just so I have something different in here. I have lunch. there we go. I built a little copy of my schedule for every morning. First period, second period, third period, fourth period, and then lunch. And I can go through, because I have 5 columns in each one. In each row, I have 5 columns, and I can fill in my schedule. Tuesdays would be junior lab, Java programming. Copy that. I'll put it down here for all of my columns. And I'm going to put lunch in there. All right, so I'm building out my schedule. So table rows, TR, table data is each of the columns in there. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to make this a little more efficient, because maybe since these are all the same, maybe I want to do this row all blended together.